If you're out in the market to get a very good laptop, which is decently good for editing and the battery lasts long, and at the same time, most importantly, the laptop should not cost a fortune. If these are the core things you are considering before you buy a brand new laptop, stick with me because I have a very interesting laptop here to share with you as my recommendation. And if you watch till the end, I'm going to be giving you some top-notch secret on how to buy this laptop at a very amazing price. Come along and let's take a look at this laptop, and then at the end, I will tell you exactly who this laptop is for and why you should get it. Let's do this. For full transparency, all the products I review on this channel are mostly bought with my hard-earned money, hence I'm not obliged to say anything good or bad about these products. These products are simply products that I'm simply passionate about, and I feel like talking about them on my channel. The laptop we are talking about here is the HP EliteBook H30 G5. Come along, let's talk about this laptop. So the laptop we are talking about here is the EliteBook H30 G5. As you can see, this laptop is a very compact laptop, and just for comparison's sake, this is my palm, and when I put it on this laptop, just look at it in comparison. And for me, in terms of size, I can tick the first box, which is portability in terms of the kind of laptop I'm going for. The second thing is the fact that for what I want to use it for, which is video editing, I need a little bit of higher specs. And that is where, once again, this sleek laptop shines, because I actually do have a Core i7 processor, which in this sense means that we have 7 processors in this laptop. So in actual sense, on paper, you should be able to edit on this particular machine. So processor marked. The next thing about this laptop is also the fact that, at least in editing, we need some decent amount of RAM. And in that case, this laptop comes in stuck with a 16 gig RAM, which is pretty much very decent, because for me, the sweet spot for editing 1080 footage is having a laptop which in actual sense has at least 8 gig of RAM, and this actually has about 16 gig. So it takes another box. Now, the other amazing aspect of this laptop, and the other box that I least expected it to take, is the fact that the RAM is upgradable and the laptop is serviceable. What do I mean by that? If you look closely at just the other sides of the laptop, there are screws here which the laptop can easily be opened, and once you open inside, you can upgrade the RAM, which is physically taking it out and putting in another RAM, which means you can take this laptop all the way up to a whooping astronomical amount of 32 gig of RAM, which is really amazing, because for EliteBooks or very sleek laptops like this, mostly in recent times, they always make sure that you cannot change the RAM in most cases. And just like the last video I did here, which was this particular review of this other version of the EliteBook, which is one of the most viewed videos on this particular channel, and if you haven't watched it, click up here to watch that particular video. That laptop, with all its good qualities, does not tick this particular box, because the RAM is not upgradable and a lot of things in there are just stuck onto the motherboard. But this one surprisingly ticks this particular box, and this makes it a very versatile laptop. So if you buy it and later on you need more power, it's easily upgradable in terms of a video editor's perspective. And for portable editing laptops, the other box it must tick for me is battery life. And again, that is where this laptop once again shines, because the battery life here is roughly about 4 to 5 hours according to my test. I don't know what the manufacturers say, but for me, that is what I tend to get from this. That is if I'm just using Word or typing, or just on a business trip and I'm just doing basic stuff. But of course, if I'm editing and I'm running Adobe Premiere Pro or running very high-end stuff, I tend to get at least roughly half of that, which is somewhere around 2 hours, 3 hours, instead of the regular 6 hours, 5 hours thereabout. So this is something you need to take very keen note of. And the last thing an editing laptop must tick for me is its modular nature, or the ports that are on it. This should be a laptop that you can basically rig out, because we do have a USB port, we have a Type-C port, we also have a full HDMI out, and then one thing that is very rare in most modern laptops these days, a fully sized Ethernet port where you can connect high-speed internet directly to the computer. And of course, we also have the dual audio 3.5mm jack, which can take both a microphone and an earphone all at the same time. And also, we do have a SIM card slot so that you can put a SIM card in case you really want to use direct internet connection, and the very old HP dock center where you can plug other HP devices onto this particular computer. So on paper, this is actually a really decent editing machine. But like I do it on this channel, I don't just deal with paper, or I just don't deal with hearsay. So I'm going to put into the test right now. Let's see if this can edit a multicam sequence or a multicam footage. So I'm going to run Adobe Premiere Pro, and then I'm going to show you exactly how it behaves editing this footage. For full transparency, the footages are coming from a Panasonic G7 and a Canon 60D, and all of them are shot at 1080p, and I'm going to try to see if we can combine all of these things and edit them seamlessly in Adobe Premiere Pro. So these are all the 3 camera angles. This is something I've already gone ahead to cut, and spoiler alert, this actually cuts through the whole thing like breeze. Now, let me show you. Let's click on play.
Now, let's go beyond that. I know you've mentioned the values and all. Do you receive some kickbacks when you've planned to maybe do an audit over a particular department?
So as you can see, we do have a little bit of breakages, and that is because I've already gone ahead to color grade this footage. So if you want to see the best results, let's find a way of turning off all the effects, because even the big machines, most of them will still tremble if you have a lot of effects on it. But just to show you how versatile this machine is, let me turn off this whole effects, and then we'll see how the whole thing behaves. So we just click on this button over here, and then it will disable all the effects. Now let's see how it looks like.
The internal data is here. It's coming to check my faults and report me. Do you have that?
And remember that we are blasting this thing at full resolution. And as you can see, it's having no problem, but still I have lots of layers. As you can see up here, there's actually a logo of KPMG on it and all that. So basically, this is how this laptop would behave if you are using it for high-end edits this way. So if it can play it back in full, that means that if I reduce the resolution, take it to, let's say, 1.8, it is not going to have a problem at all. There's not going to be any form of stuttering or any form of stoppage at the end of the day. So for me, these are the things I look out for when buying a laptop like this. The other box a laptop like this should take for me is privacy in the webcam. Now, for most of you out there who are always worried about a hacker hacking your machine and being able to see your face and all that, sometimes people will even go a long way in cutting stuff and putting it on their webcam because it cannot be closed. But this one, amazingly, has a button where you can easily click to close it or otherwise. So that way you are sure that even if a hacker or someone ever gets into your machine, then they will not be able to see you. However, be very careful because it is just with the camera, but the microphone is not blocked. All right, so in as much as everything is perfect here, you know that no product is actually perfect. There are actually some few things I don't really like about this laptop, and if you're buying, these are things to certainly keep in mind. I did speak about the fact that we have lots of ports here, but as an editor, like I said, I do like to edit from external sources, and by the time I finish plugging in my mouse and all that, this thing becomes full and I cannot get any extra space to plug in anything. And however, I do have a workaround. That is where something like this comes in. This is a dongle. I just plug this to my Type-C port and it gives me extra ports to be able to put in, my SD card, both the big one from my G7 that is recording me right now, and also having extra USBs here, which are 3.0, and also having another extra Type-C here. So this opens up a whole new world of possibility, but I still feel like this is one downside for me that you really need to take very key note of if you really want this to be an editing machine. Now, the other downside you have to take note of is the fact that even though it's a very sleek laptop and all that, as you can see, the screen is really quite small. This is about a 13.5-inch screen. And then for me, sometimes the things look a little bit too small. And when you are editing, you want to see a lot of the world, or you want to see a lot of the things on the bigger screen. But hey, for me, it is not really an issue because I'm out for a simple, sleek laptop. If I need a bigger screen, then I'll simply buy a bigger laptop, which for me defeats my purpose of on-the-go video editing, because I actually do have a workstation home, and then I only use this to edit a lot. Then when I get back, I put it on the workstation and I do all my renderings there, and I only do cutting here, especially when it is on-the-go editing. Now I answer the hard question: who is this laptop for? Now, for me, this laptop is for you who wants to learn video editing, but you don't want to buy a whole machine which is in your home. Probably you're a very busy person, you move around a lot, and you need something very small, something very sleek, yet powerful, that can help you perform lots of edits. I do recommend that you pick up this particular laptop. And also, if you're a student and you are looking for a very all-around solution that can help you type your assignment, type lots of stuff on the go, I'll also recommend this laptop for you, because trust me, it's a very good laptop in terms of specs and everything that you need. Now, just before we end this, one thing I didn't add is that this is an 8th generation. So of course, a newer generation of this will certainly be better off. And personally, I picked up this computer from a store right here in Ghana, which you can locate at Odo Rice. I'm going to put their numbers in the description below. You can reach out to them if you're in Ghana and if you want to buy this laptop. These guys are really very awesome, and I would do recommend that you buy it from them. If you're not in Ghana and if you are in other jurisdictions of the world, you can also get this on Amazon and all the other known e-commerce websites. And now to my last promise, which I did tell you that I was going to show you a way of picking this laptop at a way cheaper price. Now, this laptop, as at the time of making this video, is already more than 5 years old, which means that you'll be able to get a lot of used versions of this at very astronomically cheap prices. And that is exactly how I bought this. And that is the technique I use. I don't often chase very latest technologies because sometimes they are just overpriced stuff with very minimal upgradement. So I still went in for this, which is slightly used, or sometimes we say refurbished over here in Ghana, but everything is definitely still intact. And so if you want to buy stuff like this, look out for used versions, because trust me, you'll be saving a lot. However, be very careful with the kind of used stuff that you buy, because sometimes some users are not honest at all. So make sure you are inspecting it, making sure that it is the best of quality. And trust me, by buying something like that, you are going to be saving yourself a lot of money. I actually picked up this laptop for about $361, and I'm sure for wherever you are, you might be getting, or you can pick up this for exactly the same price or even a better competitive price than what I picked it up for right here in Ghana. I hope this video is very useful to you, and if it did, please make sure to click on the like button, and please make sure to click on the subscribe button, because this is African Amaze channel. Over here, I do talk about cinematography, photography, editing, and all its related branches. Thank you so much for watching. And if you really do want another alternative to this Elite book, I have this particular video here where I talk about another Elite book. Click here to watch it, and I will certainly catch you in the next one. Until next time, as always, guys, keep practicing filmmaking. Peace out.